Okay. So, welcome to We Need to Talk, because talking about mental health is important because mental health matters. Today, our special guest is Courtney Walker.
Woo!
You gotta post that in that.
Yes. Cue sound effects now.
Okay, so Courtney, introduce yourself.
Yes. Okay, so my name is Courtney-Diana. I am, I don't even know what to say anymore because, just like what you talked about.
Rattle off.
Yeah, the different things.
Dancer, entrepreneur, host.
It's too many things. Mm-hmm. Like the list has truly grown, but at the end of the day, I'm just the girl. Just the girl. So yes, I am a dancer in spirit still, entrepreneur, as you would have said, host, social media person. A degree holder. I still have 2 degrees, but not really,
Because we had to fight for them degrees.
Yeah, we had to fight.
It's really got to mention that to people.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
I am a degree holder. I finished school
twice, not once, twice. Yes. So you understand, right? I got bring that up all the time. Like, I'm stupid. I went to school 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different times. Like you can't be coming to me, right? So yes. So it's many different things. I wear many different hats these days. You would probably know me from 2 P's in a podcast, from at work and stuff like that. So people assign different roles to me, but at the end of the day, as I said, I'm just the girl trying to figure it out, Like I'm literally always trying to come up for air a little bit, just trying to figure out what's next. If I'm content with what's happening currently, that kinds of things. It's always an ongoing struggle to see what's happening next, to be honest.
Okay. So, I have to preface this icebreaker question because
oh goodness,
y'all won't know, but me and Courtney, our addiction to Cinderella.
Yes, it runs very deep.
Deep.
And not just Brandy Cinderella. Not just any Cinderella, but Brandy Cinderella specifically.
We know the list of songs, we know the words to the song, and we'll randomly just message.
Like, did you see that? Did you see this video, Impossible, Get It Redone? Did you see this? Like, I will never forget when I found out that her version was not the original version from the same people. And I literally said to go, I was like, look at this. This is like the oldie type version of the same one that we love. The same songs and everything. But yeah, so yes.
We're not gonna acknowledge that though.
No, Brandy is the only
Brandy
one.
forever.
We only acknowledge Brandy. We really for everybody. Yeah.
Okay, so your question is, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Go-to karaoke song. You see, I don't really like singing. But my sister and we would tend to do either the same Impossible, or we would do like any kind of Nicki Minaj, like old songs. We would do Nicki Minaj.
Starships or something.
No, it's really bad because like we would rap like all of Nicki's old songs, like even Up Up My Face with Mariah Carey. We would do like we could rap Itty Bitty Piggy. We would just randomly start singing.
That was the first rap song I ever learned all the words to.
Itty Bitty Piggy is literally, to this day, if I call my sister right now and I said I was on the plane with the wing, my sister would literally start going off and just rapping the first like couple bars into the chorus. And that is like a prompt. Like anytime we like hear anybody say I going on the plane, we gonna do it. Literally is I was on the plane with the way. You can call me Whitney and then we just rap and keep rapping. So yes, any Nicki Minaj old school music is my go-to for sure. Or Impossible.
Things are happening every day. Impossible.
Yes. So we have a problem. We genuinely have a problem.
Okay. So that brings us into today's topic, which is relationships.
Yes.
and we're going to start with familial relationships.
Yeah.
So what's your family dynamic?
Okay, so I was raised in a single mother household. I was raised with my mom being the head of the house, obviously, but then also having a second parent who is my oldest sister.
Yep.
Like, and you,
Same.
yes. So you understand, right? So my sister, whenever I talk about parents, I'm never referring to my mother and my father. It's always my mother and my sister. I have to literally run it by my parents. That's what I mean, right? So
Your sister is how much years older than you?
I think 8.
Mine is
So 6, right? So like all throughout my life, she was bigger than me. So like it's never been even playing field. Even now, she is still like in my eyes my second mother. So anytime I have anything going on and I like feel it to fall apart, the first person, I don't even call my mother. I call my sister. No matter what time zone she's in, she answers that phone. I am crying. Like I am literally falling down on the floor in tears because these like just hearing her say hello, what happened? Because you know, anytime I call it randomly today, like it's like hello, what happened? And I just fall to my knees. So yeah,
it's like that way you're not okay. And
yes,
then somebody asks you, "Are you okay?"
You just fall apart
Immediately, tears. Just
so
waiting.
I was definitely raised in an all-girl household with my mother and my sister as great examples of how to be, you know, just a good, outstanding human being. Like. There was at times that I was like, oh my god, I wish I had a daddy in the house, or you know what I mean, because my mom and my sister really made up for that. I never lacked for anything. At some points we're a little rougher than others, but other than that, like I would say I had a pretty solid, decent upbringing. You know, sometimes for me, only time I really feel the lack of male energy or whatever the case may be is with certain, like trying to navigate certain situations now as an adult with actual like female to male relations. It's like, okay, maybe if I had a dad around, he would tell me bleep, 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 bleep. You know, like he would tell me, okay, well, if a man around you with this, don't listen, it's just a trick. That kind of things, you know. Just some guidance on that level. But other than that, it has never been oh my god, and I wish my dad, you know, sometimes only at like Father's Day I would be like, okay, well, I wish I had like that real like dad to daughter relationship where it could be like, oh, let's go to lunch, or you know. And but other than that, because I had two godfathers who were like my fathers. Like one of them is literally like my dad, and then the other one is like my dad point two. So like it's like I never missed out on that. Like they would take me, you know, birthdays, whatever, always present, always graduations, first person to call, anything, any success, anything. That was my number ones. So yeah, single parent household. Not bad if you have like a team of like or like a village, you know. When it's a village, is really raised. Like if my mom, I think if she didn't have her village, it would not have been as nice as it was or as successful as it was, like raising myself and my sister, to be honest. Yeah, so single parent household, not bad. She raised two very, very intelligent, smart, successful, beautiful children. So she pats herself on the back. Yeah, she pats herself on the back all the time for that. When she looks at, you know, what she's done with what little she has had, I think she's very proud of the children that she ended up raising, and you know, so good on her. So I would have fallen apart personally.
So you said like personally you didn't really feel like if you missed out on having your dad there, but what advice would you share to people who do feel it longing for having their dad there? Because there are a lot of households, especially in the Caribbean, where dads just
decide, well, I don't feel like being here anymore, so gotta go.
Or they pop in and out, and sometimes they want to be a father figure, and then other times they're like, why are you calling me? Type of thing. So what would you tell them?
Okay, I would say two things. I would say my dad was kind of like that, like pop-in kind of guy. Like And there's no shade no tea to my dad. Like, you are who you are. You're a Scorpio, so I mean that. But so like with my dad, I had to figure out early on that it's not necessarily personal. Like,
they have their own
yeah,
trauma.
I was gonna say, like, people, we tend to forget that our parents are people as well.
Yep.
And you know, as I say, don't get me wrong, sometimes I do have like those moments where it's like, I wish he would show up for me for this, or he would be happy, or at least tell me, well, you're proud of me, that kind of things. But then at the end of the day, early on, my dad used to treat me like if I was just one of his friends. So he not talking to me because I don't reach out to him, or I not talking to he because he don't reach out to me, kind of thing. And so from early on, I kind of had that relationship where it's like, okay, well, I know to just call him if I really, really need help, or you know, because he will show up. It's just for the everyday wins and stuff. It just, you know, lacking that everyday one, and it is sometimes a little hurtful saying sometimes the relationship with his other kids is much different to how it is with me, because he kind of looks at me and thinks, well, this is all like what I interpret that because we are in this position of myself, my mother, my sister, that I don't need him because, you know, I have not needed him in that way. And so it has become, that's how I've been getting through it. It's more like, okay, well, he just thinks I don't need him, so he doesn't need to be present. But, you know, I would just say to people, just as I said, don't take it too personally, because, you know, yeah, hold them accountable, but also just remember sometimes that they are people as well, and they have their own traumas and their own, you know, maybe it's a reflection of how he was raised that causes him to be, you know, once you get into the actual psychology of it, the reason why he is the way he is, it kind of allows me to take a step back and be like, okay, well, you know, yeah, he's accountable, but at the same time, he is a result of his environment that he has grown up in. So I take my little smart behind and just sit in a corner and be like, okay. You know, if it happens organically, but if it doesn't, then it doesn't, and I'm not gonna fall apart without it. I'm not gonna, you know, feel like, oh my god, poor me. It is what it is. As I said, having my mother and my sister, I don't really want for anything else, because my sister played that, unfortunately for her, she played that role of the second parent, you know. So
how do you think that affected your dynamic with your sister?
I would say, funny enough, we have a pretty balanced relationship. And why I would say pretty balanced is because my sister knows when to be a sister and when to be a parent. So like,
can't relate.
No, like that, like give my sister a prop. Like she knows like when I want to sit down and gossip and laugh and da. She knows when to do that, and then like she knows when to be like, no, Courtney, I'm not giving you the money for that. I'm not doing that. You know, if it's something important, like if it's for school, or if it's something like, okay, well, I want to sign up for another course and do something, or I want to get another skill, or whatever the case may be. The first time I ever figured out that my sister was really like my ride or die, like my person. You know, we was like, oh, there was mommy girl, then that as a sister's girl. My sister, when I was a child, when I was like in my early teens, and I was really into dance at that point, my sister up and decided, because I was like, man, I want to go and do this and that. My sister paid for me to take my backside to Canada out of her pocket to do a summer intensive at the National Ballet of Canada. National Ballet of Canada. I did that for a whole summer. Injured my foot again, but that's not the point. The point is, she took her money and did that for me, and I said, that is somebody who understands, one, what it is to have a dream and you want to pursue it, and two, how to truly support you in whatever decision you try. Like, I thought she was doing dance as a degree. She didn't even go back like that. She was like, whatever works for you. Because, you know, growing up in an artistic household and like a humanities household, I always had that freedom to just be like, okay, well, yeah, that doctor's thing for me, that math thing for me. I could do the English and thing, you know, I could do the theater arts thing. Like, having that genuine support has really, really helped our relationship be balanced, because she knows if she's ever fallen apart, she could call me And I can say, I might not know what the hell going on, but I can be like, I understand. And this is what you gotta do. And and I'm gonna give her genuine advice from a perspective that she might not necessarily see it from. And then every Mother's Day I still send you Happy Mother's Day because she's my mother. So it's like my second mom. So
I feel like I need to start doing that.
Yeah.
Because even though I said I can't relate with the separating of sister and mother, but my sister needed to be my mom.
Yeah, she was your mother, right? She stepped in. She was the parent that stepped up.
Yep, she really was. I feel like if I have 3 parents, and she was one of them, and as we've gotten older and I've more put my foot down, I've had to set the boundary of, you're not my mother, you're my sister, so that dynamic has changed.
Yeah, that transition into like, but you gotta be my sister now.
I have to give her props. Yeah. She was, as you said, right or die. She was that person, like, especially since, because my parents travel for work differently, so when we were younger, it was the 2 of us. Like, we always had to look out for each other. And I was going out with my sister and her friends. At that point, I was just to tag along. Yeah, they always knew. Like, I was everybody's little sister at that point. All of the friend group, even your sister. I was their little sister because it was just like, well, my sister can't leave me at home. And parents are out.
Which is the same bar. Like, the fact that our sisters are friends and then we became friends, not because our sisters were friends, but like my mom could have matchmade and made it like so that we could become friends as well. So like, my mom is very sneaky. Like, when you think about it, how she coordinated all that. But anyway, back to Simone.
Yeah. So just being the tag along and her looking out for me, and when I was 11 or 12, she's actually the person that dealt with my first ever period. Oh, because my mom wasn't in the island, and I was just crying. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that is always so traumatizing. Mine was at 9. I was 9 years old. Wow. Nobody else in my year had their period. And here I would never forget. I think it was a New Year's Day. Child, the trauma. But then my mom and my sister were like, yeah, this was happening.
My sister sat me down and she pulled up a YouTube video. And at that time, YouTube was not a thing. So she had to like search and be like, this is what's going on. You're okay. You're not dying. It was just like, so for a 17, 18-year-old to handle all of that at the time, like, collapse for them. Because when I was 17, 18, looking after an 11-year-old.
It's insane, especially because we are awful at 11 to 10 years old.
Yes, we are.
It's absolutely awful. So she better meet you. Because, if the roles was reversed, my family's always laughed and said, like, if I was the eldest, like the elder of me and my sister, I would be a bully. Because I like my way and I like people to do things.
They call me a bully now.
I didn't want to do things what I said to do it. Like,
I don't have time for the dilly dally. They always say that I'm very like frank and I will say whatever is on my mind up till now. So if they have an opinion on something, they'll ask me and I'll be like, no. Absolutely not. And they'll break down laughing and be like, wow.
That was my mother the other day. My mother had on the most horrendous outfit.
Absolutely not. You're not going to be near me. Like
that. Like, I was like, girl. And we were heading out. I was like, mommy, no. No. She's like, Courtney, what you mean? Like, this is so cute. I was like, you are literally not going to be behind me. Looking like, no. So
that's embarrassing.
So like they do make fun all the time and say that if I could cut their backsides, I would. But I would, because like, why are you doing what I say to do? Why are you moving faster? Why are you getting to where you need to get? So yeah.
But we got to be like that because they gave us the space.
Right, exactly. Like people always see my relationship with my mom and my sister and like, oh, she's so rude to y'all, da da da. No, that is just our banter.
That's the dynamic.
Literally, like people put their own ideas into what our situation is, and they project these ideas of what they think our relationship is. And it's like, I've always had this space to be expressive and express myself, but don't ever for a second don't think that I respect my mother. I love my mother to like nobody has ever loved their mother, and this is for you, Chloe. I hope you listen. Nobody has ever loved their mother as much as I love my mother. I love my mother the most in the entire world.
Yep.
So like when people see our dynamic and see how we would be laughing and cussing and laughing and like having back and forth banter, like people like looking on us like, are you gonna let you speak to you like that? I was like, yeah, because I'm ready.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
when I put down the law and I say whatever she's gonna
silent. Were you silent or were you silent?
Silent.
Literally, that is how it is. Like my mom, and I think people don't understand, right? Growing up, my mom did used to beat her kids. Like she wasn't a corporal punishment, no. Lashes, no. But you see when she was disappointed, ooh,
look,
ooh.
I feel like I used to cry more.
When your mother said, I am so disappointed in your behavior. Wow, I used to go in my bed and cry. I would cry for like a whole night. Like,
she could yell at me, ignoring her.
I'm
no
not
offense
listening.
to mommy.
No offense to you, but I'm not even listening.
And then disappointed, just being saddened by whatever I did.
Listen, even as an adult, even at my big age of almost 26 next week, my mother look at me and tell me, I am so disappointed in how you have behaved in front of da. I said, you disappointed? You disappointed? I went in my bed and
cry.
I cry my eyes out because what do you mean? I'm disappointed. So yes, that is how much I love my mother and hold her in such high regard, because I know I really had to do something real crazy for she to be like she's so disappointed. Because I be pushing it. So for me to get there,
yeah.
Woo, that's when my heart can't ice hurt immediately. Maybe it's a cat in me, but I be tears be in my eye and I be fighting. I be like, oh Jesus, Lord. The words don't even come out. My sister be like, what you praying? Courtney, why you praying?
They always make it worse. They always make it worse.
I'm like, girl, because this is sad. This is very sad for me. So yes, sisterhood is crazy, but like, I would not trade my sister for any other person. True. And like, and don't get me wrong, I have other sisters. I have like 2 other sisters. Love them to bits. But like, growing up in the same household as a sister, and then having siblings who don't live with you, it's obviously going to be very different. And you have just that genuine love for your siblings.
You have fought that person.
Yeah,
you cried with that person. You have laughed with that person. You have inside jokes.
You sit down eat meals for your whole life with that person. That person could be all, because my sister, like your sister, doesn't live here, so it's like that person could be all on the other side of the world, and like you having a bad day, you just call them. You just like, you know, you would not believe what them at work do today, or you wouldn't believe.
During Christmas, every single time Organic Christmas, like person comes on, I don't care what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't care if I was driving. I'm a pull over.
I was
I'm gonna take my phone, record it, and send it to her.
Yeah.
And she's gonna immediately respond and be singing back.
Yeah. That is the thing, but it's those moments, right? Those moments that really make you feel like, alright, this is how much I love my family, right? My mom and my sister. Every tattoo I have, and I have about 4. 3 out of those 4 tattoos has something to do with my mom, me, my mom, and my sister. The one in my back is the moons on our birth, like the days we were born. And surprisingly, my sister and I, we had the same type of moon, and then my mother had a full moon, so it's like 2 crescents and then a full. And then this one, 3, always 3, always 3, always 3, always 3, because. And my sister's like, you're so sentimental, you're so mushy. I'm like, girl, y'all don't understand. I literally could not do this life without y'all. Like I don't think they get it. Like, they don't get it through their brain that if I had to choose again, I would choose the same mother and sister. But my sister, my mother, and like my goddads and my aunties, I would choose the same people because nobody supports me and loves me as much as they do. 100%. And that was like one of the last grandchildren. Take it back. Yeah, I really have grandparents. Like, wow, I come from a real like sad. I have last grandchild, but I was like, does that even matter? Because like, all my grandparents are DEAD, like they're gone, and they've been gone like my entire life.
My grandmothers outlasted
everybody.
They died recently.
Yeah.
But the last one that passed away, she was
lived.
determined.
Yeah,
she was 101.
Yeah, no,
she
that,
said,
no, to be 101.
She really said,
I am staying. Like, you know what's to be 101 in this economy?
I can't relate to that.
Like, that's insane.
Insane. Actually.
My girl get to heaven and she said, I know what I've been waiting for me. I know you've been waiting.
Yep. I done experience the wars.
I literally lived through everything. The
yep.
internet.
Yep.
The internet becoming better than it was, but like, that's insane.
Yeah.
People going viral. People using phones. Mm-hmm. People using phones to record themselves constantly. Mm-hmm. Almost went through another world war. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Crazy.
101.
But my granddads, they passed away when I was younger. Those are my brother. Like the two of them were just pure souls. Yeah. They loved me like no other, and all shade and all tea. One of my granddad, well, both of them were not great to their kids because in that time,
it was what it was.
It was
you there.
Yep.
There's a picnic there. I come as you.
Yep.
Good? Alright, cool.
Yep. But when I came around, when me and my sister came around,
they said,
I'm
gonna make up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really said, whatever you want,
you're gonna have.
I'm just gonna, like, you are my daughter. Even though you're my granddaughter, you're my daughter.
Child. Yes.
You're getting all of the love.
Yeah.
So them dying young, when I was young, that brought my heart.
It would. Because them is like your people. And for them to just, and that was the thing too, like, because I never experienced my grandfathers, barely experienced my grandmothers, because I think one had Alzheimer's and one had dementia, both had dementia.
That is the most heartbreaking thing to watch people go through.
Yeah, because like half the time my grandmother from my mom's side, she didn't even know, like her brain stopped at like her eldest son, you know, and her eldest daughter. Like she didn't really recognize anybody else, and like
they start to call the names of the people.
She would remember like literally, and this is me recollecting from a kid. She remember like the kid. She would remember the names, but she would see the people as strangers, like just people she would have known, you know. So like my mom, she's like, yeah, you asked me when last time you hear Andrea, and my mom would be the person asking her that in front of her. And she'd be like, Andrea, I see Andrea know from XYZ da da da, and she'd be right in front of her, right? So seeing that happen, you know, it's real sad. Like,
sidebar, I saw a TikTok of a nurse.
Yeah.
She was just like, oh, the patient had dementia and they were confused as to why the bus was late, and they came to the desk and was just like, I need to file a complaint because the bus is always late. And she was just like, I will call for you because I don't understand. We're just getting to work late all the time. They need to do better.
Yeah.
And every single time I think about dementia patients or Alzheimer's patients, I think back to that TikTok now because that is hilarious. Like, most of the time they tell you to keep talking to the person and bring them back to reality. But if that is their reality, the Lulu is the Salulu
like,
sometimes.
Literally, like, because what is it going to take off of them? Or what is it going to take off of you to keep them happy in that reality? Clearly that's one of their happiest moments.
Yeah.
You know, because they're right now living off of the course of memories that they could possibly think of to keep them going. So, like, to not feed into that is crazy because, like, will you be the bus late? Like, I would have done the same thing. They probably would have found me because I was like, girl, we always set up at this bus stop every day for this bus.
I would have looked at my watch and be like, it's an hour late.
Like,
how long have you been waiting? You know?
My girl said all my life.
For another story, they actually put up a bus stop because she used to throw fits and get aggressive. So right outside of the building, they put up a bus stop, and obviously it's a fake bus stop, so the bus not actually gonna stop, and she used to stand up there. And then when she remembered where she was, she would come back inside. What is the harm in that?
Literally,
like, if you ain't get aggressive with me and punch me out, all that, because I tell you that there's no bus.
Literally,
Girl, I put in at that bus stop.
Exactly. And we got to care about the nurses. Come on now.
You can stand up at that bus stop, and she will happily talk to everybody that walking past.
Ask them if this is the bus. So here is the bus coming.
I feel like sometimes that is just
much better. It is because like it still keeps them with their dignity and you know that kind of stuff. So, girl, family is a crazy thing. But like you really can't survive. Like I feel generally heartbroken for people who have no sense of family, who have no sense of like the importance of community and stuff like that. Because there are some people who aren't very family oriented, and I say all the time, I personally cannot date somebody who is not family oriented, because when I tell you I gotta go collect my mother from XYZ, you gotta understand that I drop it every day. I'm gonna collect my mother. And when my sister needs me to do anything, you gotta understand. I'm there.
A little tickle.
I'm there.
You need water?
You need something? What do you need? Like literally, I can kick her first because sometimes it's like, alright, like it's ridiculous. Like, just say. But then it's like, then I think about all the times my mom has done things to convenience me and make my life more comfortable, and then it's kind of start guilt tripping myself. It's like you can really just do
Don't even start that one.
You can really just do it. Like
the hardships that they had to go through when you look at that. As you were talking about like relationships with a partner, I want to have that. I want to be that for my future children, to just give up everything just for them.
Literally make them feel like, and I see people, there's always this debate, oh, you still live with your parents, oh, you still live, like, sorry that my mother cares about me and loves me and still wants me to be with her 24. My mother can literally have to be with her 24.
We used to argue, right? So when she would get mad at me, I would be like, and I'm gonna move out and I'm gonna start paying rent and blah blah blah. And then when we would calm down, she would just be like,
you hope you don't forget, right?
You finish school first.
Yeah.
I'm at UE. And she's like, no, do you want to do another degree to think? Because I had to do my master's. It was just like, she would crawl and be like, I can't wait till y'all get out to my house. I can't wait till I'm alone. But the fact that I went through another degree, my master's, and she was just like, there we go. Yeah. Let me go. Let me grind.
Keep it going.
And she was at every single graduation. Yeah. And sort of crying if I talk.
Yeah, literally I got stop myself and like I just like like my I've been watering this whole time. Like it's actually bad because like that's literally it's really feel how much you love like girl. I can't it's so bad sidebar. It's like when you watch them TikToks with the people talk about, oh my mother don't do that. What you would do for me? What I would do, I would pass away. But then I always remember a time I told my mommy, if you were to pass away right now, I pass away too. My mother said, if I get away now,
are you not
and I see you there, I gonna be you so bad that all God gonna do is send you back to earth. My mother said, don't you ever.
I sacrifice all that I sacrificed for you to be up there next to me.
My mother said, don't you ever. I did and I see you next to me. She was so pissed. It's about for me. You know, it's crazy, right? As I said, like with my family, I love them so deeply that I know that if something was to happen to them, like you would literally have to institutionalize me. Like I will not function. And now it has like extended to my dogs as well. I have 3 dogs. And it's to the point that I literally cannot watch TikToks with dogs being like treated badly. I can't see them on the side of the road. Like every time I see a dog on the side of the road, I look to see if it's a girl. Because if it's a girl, I bring it home. Like I literally bring it home to my house. But like
last night I was feeding a kitten that was at Haman's Market because it was just by itself, and I wanted to take it home so bad, and my boyfriend was just like,
no, where are you gonna put it?
You have a very big dog.
A huge dog. But you'd be surprised, big babies is like little babies and just get to take care of them. So that's like that kind of thing. But yeah, so that's me. Like I can't take those things because as I said, I can't take it's crazy how bad. Like I was sit down here and just bomb my eyes with you like.
Girl, I know. We're literally born a week apart.
I know. I should go through it.
Yep.
So yes.
You started crying, I started crying, we all
both
cried.
cried, we cried together.
Mm-hmm.
I cried, you cried, we cried.
Mm-hmm.
Right
The cold, I cried.
Yes. So we're back on target though, because, well. Wait, that's all right?
Yeah.
I waited so long to answer to my
I don't look at yours. Yeah.
But yeah, so familial relationships are very tricky, but they're very worth it if you have people who are willing to work with you and just understand that something they're just gonna leave you be and you gonna come around eventually, or you can like eventually get to where they want you to get to. Like the other day my mom was like, I know you didn't get there eventually, which was how to give some space there. And it's true, sometimes, you know, like with my extended family, they had a group chat, and it was with like all the cousins. I said I am one of the youngest. It's like me and my boy cousin. We born the same year. So, but he born the top of the year. I born in the middle. So all of us was in this group chat, and my older cousins now all them are kiki and them grew up at the same time. So all them got inside jokes and blah. So I had asked, I think either my other cousin if she could pick me up, what time she picked me up, And then my other cousin was like, Courtney, are you gonna just take the bus? Me? Take the bus? Me?
I want you to know one thing. My mother, my sister never let me do that.
Me? Take the girl.
I mean, when we went to school overseas,
yes,
obviously
we took the bus. But that's different. The bus is very, very, very reliable and very, very nice. No.
The bus?
The bus. No offense to anybody who takes the bus. The buses are nice.
We sound so bougie.
Yeah, like the bus, like I was traumatized. So much so that I literally delete the group. I never went back in the group chat with them ever again. I think they're possibly still in that same group to this day. And that was like 7, 8 years ago. I never.
Extended family be wilding.
No, like every time they see me now and we all together, this like, I don't remember when Courtney left that group chat. I was not older than like 18, 17, 18. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with it. You're not gonna put me in that situation. No, thank you. So yeah, like extended family could be tricky, but like once you, like my mom's side, we grew up with all our cousins all the time. So like, even though they were older than me, we were always around each other because we had like a lot of aunts and uncles.
That's the same.
Yeah, we had a lot.
Mom's side.
All literally,
like,
that's an ongoing joke. But always never known if we father son, they family much, but it's always the closest way of mother's side. Because like when my mom's side of the family, like we had a lot of like aunts and uncles, as I would say. So like them used to die a lot because like it was so many of them. So every freaking year we had a funeral. Like so you will always be seeing your relatives. Not under great circumstances, but nonetheless, you see them where you're hanging, you're laughing, you're talking. So we were always around each other. Even my cousins that live in Canada, when I moved to Canada, it was always constant interaction. So like my mom's side, we're like all of us are like this. Everybody's close to somebody, you know. So yes, yes.
That was such a delayed call.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So everyone was close to everybody. And then like everybody had a like specific person. So like my specific person is like one of my first cousins. She basically raised me. Like she's my aunt's daughter, my eldest aunt, her daughter, and like she literally used to babysit me as a child. Like not like a child, like baby. I always just said was your favorite cousin and all that. And to this day, she's still like my absolute favorite. Like you know, obviously sometimes now that I'm older, she's kind of battle with. It's been more her, to be honest. Now I think about it, it don't be my sister that's be trying to. She that's trying to be put it down. She fun talking about. Are you talking back to me? You talking about? I could still get a belt. Then me and you go fight in here because when you be gonna still lash me with a belt. Like it's things like that, but it's all fun and games. Like it's all fun and whatever. And like we still see each other every 2 weeks because she cuts my mom's hair and all sorts of things. So like we're all very like interconnected. So, you know, even then, like, I know some people got family members that be like super bad money and like, yeah, I would never, me, we don't talk, be boring.
that's always stem from funerals.
Literally, like,
people fighting over property,
yes,
money, all sorts
and
of
we
things.
don't talk to this body and this body. Like that, my family's not like that at all. Like, we had like one case like that, but that was like we just like it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people dying like.
Yeah.
There's literally
that also brings
wars.
people together.
Yeah,
like sickness.
like people are dying. Like, and as I said, we had a lot of deaths in our family. So like, I went to a funeral for one of my cousins literally this week. So it's like, you know. But then you see family members from that side of the family that you see in a very long time. Like probably some I see some was in primary school. So like that kind of stuff. It just, but it's never like any ill feeling. So I think. As I said, my heart is kind of just great for people who don't have strong family settings and people who just don't see the value of it. Like, because it's like, damn, we just only go through this life. So, hoping to find friends that you can make your family. But then it's like, if you don't really have a true understanding of what family is, then how do you then create the family experience through friends? You know what I mean? So, yeah. Very interesting. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this because you're literally like, yeah, no. So I think that then segues into like friendships, like how hard it is to, as like an adult, to maintain any type of friendship.
I feel like we can't make friends now.
It is so hard. Like I personally, I don't. Friends, making friends is so difficult because like people see you and they want to be a friend. Yeah, that's all fine and well. But I feel like the process used to be a little bit easier as a child, like as a teenager. Like, and I think situations make friendships. So when you're in primary school, you've got your primary school friends. You pray to God your primary school friends go to the same school as you. But if they don't, maybe you're in an extracurricular activity together, so you still get to see them. If not, you done got their friends, that's where you'll see them the most, you know what I mean? So if the case where you do, because I've had friends like that were my primary school friends, and then we had extracurricular activities even though we went to different schools. And then life so had it that then I moved to a school that was next door to their school. So then one ended up moving to the school that I was at. So it was like, you know, that kind of thing. We always stayed in each other's orbit kind of thing. But then after secondary school, and I was no longer doing that extracurricular activity, gone with the freaking wind. I was sitting here and there at university, but it was not a consistent basis. You know what I mean? So then it was like, okay, well, now I have my secondary school friends. Again, we all didn't go to, like, I'm probably the only person that really stuck through university, you know? Everybody else did it briefly and then dropped out and whatever the case may be. So then those friends and I, we kind of shifted. And then it was like, okay, well, I no longer... Because as your knowledge base expands, you then kind of don't necessarily want to be around people who don't necessarily think.
Also, when your mental health
changes, you really
and
don't.
You want the boundaries.
Yes, and you learning new things about like how to navigate with certain mental illnesses and stuff like that.
You don't put up with the same stuff you put up with before.
And when you implement boundaries, you realize that is what kills friendships because people like that you are a people pleaser. People like that they could just say something and you do it and whatever case may be. Fortunately for me,
and the people that like drama,
and
still like drama, and
exactly.
You're just like,
I'm not in that space. So that is how it has been like. And then you get to university now. And then you meet your university friends. Simone was my university. Like I had possibly 5 friends at university, and Simone was like 3 of them. So
we were also together all the time because we did dance. We were literally morning to like afternoon.
And like people think it's a joke when I say like we literally used to dance for like at least 12 hours straight, like because it would be like dance class.
We got injured together. Prayed together.
Literally did exams together. Be frustrated together. So it's like we were constantly together.
We never forget that.
We moved away together. Like people don't understand.
I was in that dance class. Miss Torres pissed me off so bad that I just walked out. And you walk into the bathroom behind me, and then she walked out. It was so dramatic.
It was,
but it was also like it was also just like I was done. I had enough.
And for me, she was the person to talk me off the ledge, and I was the person to talk her off the ledge a lot because it was like honestly. We literally experiencing the same thing right now. Like sometimes we used to be in class and we had our own like secret locks and stuff.
Because something I be doing craziness. You on different coats.
Yeah.
You and me on the same coat, and then everybody just like.
And we knew we were right, because how is it that we know the same coats, but everybody else do it others? Like, be serious.
Every single exam,
like
all of a sudden the camera would turn on.
Yeah, and people rewriting the exam curriculum. Like, it was insane. So, but yes, Simone was 1000% my university friend, to the point that when she then graduated, I had no friends. I probably had one friend. Literally, I'm not even joking. That last year before Simone was insane. Like,
you staying in Canada longer
I
than
know.
Because I had to come back a semester early
Because she had to graduate.
It was just like we both went to Canada at the same time.
Yep.
So we were together all the time.
And I didn't make a choice. Like, I didn't make the effort to meet new people. I just had Simone. So it was like super.
Like, we moved to a different country together. Why do we need new people?
Exactly. And we had like one friend that we had like. That we coexisted. Like, we loved him to bit. And like when she left, it was just me and him. And we looking at each other like two big birdies. Like, okay,
what are we doing now?
And then, literally. And then for that semester, I had friends, but like I had one main friend.
Call them acquaintances.
Yes. Yeah, but I, even though they were acquaintances, they were like high level acquaintances, because I did enjoy being around them, and I did enjoy.
You usually enjoy the acquaintances, but. Why I say call them acquaintances is because when you leave that place,
you don't take them.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing. Like, I had this one friend after Simone left that love her a bit. She's still my friend to this day. Nicole is still my girl, true and true. Like, even this morning, I told her every day. Like, because, and that's the thing. Like, I had a friend ask me one time if she thinks that I favor friends. And I said, I don't favor friends. I just know what different friendships need and require from me. I know that if this long distance friend, obviously she needs to be in contact with me more than everybody else, because she's never here. She's never here. She doesn't live here. She does not exist in this space. Only if I go to her, she can find a way to come. You know, so it requires more. And then I have friends that I know that I check in every 3 months, 4 months. They're gonna be okay. Like,
we literally don't talk.
Literally,
often.
we don't. But it doesn't mean that the friendship is any different, because Simone knows. Literally,
as soon as I pick up the phone, I'd be like, "Yeah, I need you for this."
ASAP.
Or you say that you need me for anything.
We're there, and I think true friendship is understanding what your friends need. You know, and not trying to do a one size fits all kind of thing. And I think people who think that is just, you know, this is just my friendship stuff. No, it can't work like that. It cannot exist like that, because, you know, I'm gonna need something different to you. I had two friends that were pregnant at the same time, child. Like, you know what I mean? They needed more of me than my friend who just needs me to be around me, or to, you know? And sometimes I find friends can be a little selfish in that regard, because it's like, at the end of the day, you're just one person. I can't have tentacles be like, all right, well, you need me today, you literally.
And then when you're struggling with your own mental health,
thank you,
and then they don't, like, I can't talk to people every single day.
Yeah,
it's just not in me. I barely have enough to function on my own, and sometimes I can't even function on my own. And then they're like, but you message me, you don't talk to me, you don't and it's just like, I'm out here fighting for my life. What do you mean?
Simone, I kid you not. Like, literally, since I became a 9 to 5-ish babe.
I can't do 9 to 5. I can't do it.
No, I do fighting. Like, my job thankfully is flexible, so I could, you know, kind of
have spaces.
But I be at work. The days I am in office, and I be calling people, talking clients, and then like my actual work friends that exist within the space, I be talking to them some minute, they just shut up. And I'm like,
your social batteries.
Yeah, no. They just be like, oh, you reached your quota for the day, because they know that, like, sometimes
all my friends know that.
Yeah, like, sometimes I just don't want to talk no more. Like, I come home and I tell people from 4 o'clock my break off. Don't ask me do nothing. Don't, like, I come home and just sit down in silence. I went to expo yesterday and I was talking to people all freaking day, like all freaking day. I came home, I sat down in my bedroom in darkness, and I did not peep a word of my mouth at all for about 3 hours straight. I just sat down and I laughed and I watched TikTok, because for me it is so tiring having to be, but like this is how I say it. With my friends, I can't have more than 2 friend activities in a weekend.
Can't do it.
I can't do it. Like, if I got 2 friends asking me to do something, like, for example, this weekend was you and Lee. Lee, we asked everybody to something, Misha and Lee, baby, and then today is you. You take it for another friend, like...
Absolutely not. I'm so sorry.
I love you, but let's reschedule because I cannot. Because right now, I gonna want to be with you, I gonna want to laugh, I gonna want to kiki, and then I can't fuck shit tomorrow.
Unless it's one of those things where it's like an emergency.
Yes, exactly. You can show up for emergencies. That's an
But if it's not emergency and you just want
to kiki, we got kiki over text. I do not want to see you right now. I love you. Don't get me wrong. And I think people don't understand that. Like, my idea, and people laugh like that. My ideal relationships are long distance relationships. Yeah. Because I don't need to see you every day. I don't need to even see you every month. Like, I just need to know you're good. Mm-hmm. I keep tabs on you. I know, okay, well, XYZ here, XYZ there, and And I think this last year or so, I've been more stern with how I carry my relationship and my friendship. Because, child, I was realizing, like, I used to be so burnt out. Like, trying to be there all the time for everybody all the time. Like, I was burnt, child. Dude, burnt out, burnt to the point like I used to feel like I was in the ground, like, and it's like I want to be present for you, I want to be present for this moment, be da 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 da,
and then you start to feel guilty if you're not there.
Yes, every single moment, right? And it's like then people think like, oh, you don't like them as much anymore, da da. But then people also got to understand that I am not that every season kind of person. Like, you are in different seasons of your life right now that I don't understand. You know what I mean? And I can be supportive of you, I love you still, but I don't know how to navigate that, you know. And as I said, I just had 2 friends that had babies, and them in a whole new season of their life that I literally before their babies, I never hold a baby before, you know. Like, that's how much I don't know, like, how to be around babies or how to navigate babies, you know. And that's why I tell them, like, you need me for anything, I'm literally there. You know, you need me to come and hang out with you, but I am not gonna be like over you, hovering. I'm not that kind of person, because I now gotta figure out how to be a friend to somebody with a baby, because now we gotta navigate, we gotta change the whole dynamic.
I feel like people don't understand that, like, when your seasons change, you have to now figure out again how to be that person's friend. Literally, you understand? Like, literally, that is what it is. Like, when my friend got married, it's like, no, we two single, but like legally single people, like, you know, going out to parties
is much different now, because you have to 1000% be more, you know, mindful, respectful, or whatever the case may be. So it's like completely different now. Every season is like I gotta learn, and I just sometimes just want the space to do that, just like grace enough to be like, okay, Courtney, I understand that this might be also very overwhelming for you. Knowing you and knowing how you are, how things overwhelm you sometimes.
I hate change.
I hate it with like everything in my insides. I literally hate change. No matter if it's good change, bad change, I hate change. I
literally need that time and space for my brain to go, yes, okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
This is the new.
Yes.
This is how we have to navigate this new.
Literally. That is me. Like, I struggle with change a lot, even for myself, and I find sometimes I procrastinate being in awful situations just so that, because it's like comfort of the chaos, you know exactly what it brings, you know what I mean?
I love toxicity because at least I know the pain that I'm going to be suffering.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, what if I go to this new thing and then it's like, it sucks, and now I'm double disappointed because like I could have just stopped in this shit that I was in, and you know, that kind of thing. So it's like, now you gotta try to just be better for you and just be like, alright, well, you know, time to be adult, you know, time to do things that gonna make upset, but it's like it could just be a temporary upset, you know. So I think it is very much sometimes with friendships, we don't allow each other to just grow, you know, like people that just have these ideas of how you were maybe as a younger person. Then
there's jealousy.
Yes.
Because if you start to grow faster than they are, or you're in a different dynamic.
Yeah.
So I'm in a healthier relationship now. And obviously friends that aren't in a healthier relationship, well, some of them, it's like they're accustomed to the getting cheated on and the, I with this person and not with this person, or drama, and we got fight this person. We don't physically fight, but like fight this person and be upset with this person and drama. And then when you get into a healthier place where you're setting your boundaries and you know exactly what you want, and the space has just shifted, if they also haven't shifted and they're just about partying and meeting people, then it's just like I don't want you to bring this person. I miss my friend. I want you to be how you were, and it's just like, but I'm not that person anymore.
But that's what I'm saying. So that is when you now have to make the decision for yourself to be like, you know what? You are no longer my everyday friend, and that's okay. Like, you are the friend that I check it with, you know, if something good is happening, even if something bad. Because, like, even with those types of friends, you feel sad because you don't want to share anything with them anymore.
Exactly.
You know?
As soon as you're like, did this
He's
for
like,
me
how will
today.
they perceive that? How will they perceive this?
And you shouldn't feel it if you have to hide your happiness.
Yes. But sometimes, as you say, it's 1000% jealousy, because why isn't it happening for them? You know what I mean? And it's always a little difficult for people, especially when they're accustomed to you being the person
that's miserable
all the time. For you to then find happiness is like, okay, then who do we get to judge, or who do we get to, you know, say, well, she's always the miserable person, so like who is gonna take that place? No, it can't be me. So, you know, then they get upset with you, because it's like, okay, well, who are you to go and get in a healthy relationship finally and be happy and be, you know, like, that's unfair to them, because you don't have a scapegoat now. They have to confront
labels.
they have to now confront why they need you to be that person. And so, they go nuts, drop it. But then, like, so they're gonna, so yeah, with them kind of friends, it's just be like, all right, well, we got to shift a little bit. You know, it's like, I don't lack love for you, but at the same time, you are a friend I will catch up with a coffee here and there. Have you sit down, laugh, and have kiki. But you are not the person I bring my good news to, or if I dating somebody, or if I happy, or, you know.
I also feel the struggle of when you get your healthiness and then you're coming into their space again, like sometimes you feel yourself getting pulled back into the negativity. So y'all used to bond on talking bad about people
and gossiping and being negative.
And then you're in your healthy space and that's not who you are anymore, but because they've labeled you like that. Like, I had that with a friend. That person doesn't even know that it bothered me so much, but we were playing a game and they were like, who's the nicest person, like, in the circle. And they were like, it can't be you because you were so aggressive and you're so whatever. And I was just like, but why can't it be me?
Because why can't I be aggressive but still be very nice?
Because it's just like, I always show up for you. I'm literally that rare person.
That reminds me, girl, not to cut you, but that reminds me of, like, people who kind of, like, I lost my train of thought. But the people that put people, like, not put people above you, but like they set certain ideas. You know, so it's like you can never be that person, even though you meet all the criteria, right? So it's like, I show up for you all the time. I'm the person you've called, So why can't I be that friend that you considered it? And then it's just like a reflection of how they see you. You know,
and then you start to question yourself. Like, in that moment when we were playing the game, I was just like, what? And now every single time I'm in that dynamic and I feel myself being frank, like how my mom and my sister would laugh and be like, you say what's on your mind.
You gotta question yourself though, because like, am I not
you
being
see
nice?
that as being mean, but more often than not, I'm telling you the truth, and I'm not a mean-spirited person. I don't like people to feel excluded or anything like negative.
But you know, sometimes people label meanness and roughness, so you just being, I won't say you, but it's just more so of you just being the person who needs to say that thing. You know, because
no one else is gonna say it.
Everybody else like kiki, but it's like, no, like, realistically,
behind their back, you're gonna be saying all sorts of things.
You're gonna be in agreement to what I'm saying,
but I'm gonna be the person that's gonna be like, no, you're doing nonsense. And then they want to be like, oh my goodness, you're so mean and blah blah blah. Like, there was another friend group where this person, not gonna dive deep because
Yeah, no.
we don't want to get
We
into
don't
that
need to.
person's thing.
We don't need that.
But that person is doing toxic things.
Yeah.
And individually, people say things,
but
but
nobody's
not
saying it
around the group.
Yeah.
They just let the person do the toxic things.
and be like, but it's
And one
pretty
day I was just like, I can't take this anymore. You're actively doing nonsense in front of me, and I don't want to see you be hurting. I don't
Yeah.
want to see you continue down the path that you're going down, because you're gonna harm yourself.
Yeah.
And unlike everybody else in the group who can
I'm
just
gonna
laugh
tell you,
and be
yeah.
like, "Oh, here, have alcohol, do this," I'll be like,
You should not do that right now, and that's okay.
"You're going through this, and this is foolishness," and blah 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 blah. And they were like, "Damn, Simone, you're going in," and I was just like, "You need to go in sometimes."
Yeah.
For that friend to actually be an authentic friend, sometimes you need to be that person. So then when people label you as mean and other things, it's just like, because I want the best for people.
Yeah. I think with people too, they're not accustomed to the mirror being held up against them.
Accountability.
Yeah. People lack accountability, and I am learning like accountability is one of the main reasons why a lot of friendships kind of fizzle out, a lot of relationships in general, because there's always that person who just runs from accountability all the time. And even if it's accountability for actions, whatever the case may be, like I find people in any interpersonal relationship, there's always going to be that dynamic where there's one person that's always going to be saying, okay, well, you need to hold yourself accountable for your actions, your emotions, da da da. Then there's always going to be me, I am accountable, blah, 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 blah. And you know, and when you have to put up that mirror then and show them this is exactly the behavior that you have right now, and you reflect it back at them, then they see, okay, well, that is, because it's only when you show it to them that they see how awful it is.
Yep.
You know. And then that's what you see in this generation. A lot of people, they do that. They mirror each other. They mirror, if you treat me bad, I treat you bad, so you can see how bad you treated me, and only then you will understand, because you're the person that is receiving it now, right? And I fall victim to that a lot, because it's like
but then you don't want to lose yourself.
Yes, because I was about to say, because it's a very slippery road, and you become somebody that you not necessarily want to be, when you constantly have to be like, okay, well, you treat me bad, so I can treat you bad, even though my nature is to be kind-hearted, you know? You don't necessarily, so then you've got to be battling with yourself, like, okay, should I do for do, or should I be the person to be like, you know, I'm not going to stop being myself, because, but then it's like, you're not deserving of this person. So then it's like, okay, well, friendship done, because now you taking me for an ass. I gotta be a person that show you that I don't want to do all that. So it's like real hard, as you said, to navigate, but to make friends, to navigate friendships, to navigate relationships, to finding partners that aren't, for lack of a better word, stupid, in the sense that they're stupid to how they make people feel, stupid to the overall, you know, everything, like those types of people. So it is really hard these days to maintain any sort of relationship. So that's my take on it. It's like all relationships, ups and downs, friendships, ups and downs, every season for a reason, you know. And just surround yourself with people, friends, family, partners, who just understand that you are not just one thing, you know. Just at the beginning where I can label myself, is like, I am not one thing, so why would you expect that every day I'm going to be the same, you know.
Okay. So as we wrap up, is there a piece of wisdom or a motto that you live by?
It is what it is. It is what it is, and for me it is what it is. It's like a serenity prayer, kind of. It holds that same weight to me. When I get to the point where I say it is what it is, I have literally let go of what it is. You know, to get to that point sometimes is a bit harder than others, but sometimes I just say, you know, I've done all I could do. It literally is what it is at this point. Whatever it will be, and I just gotta wait till it happens and see what can be done. But other than that, it literally is what it is. So that is my motto.
All right, well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. And look out for our next episode of We Need to Talk.
Bye.